So now the Chazon Ish says that the reason why the actual Torah, the halacha, allows you to hinder a person from opening a business next door to you is not because he could really take money away from you. That's not even reality in the real world. It's reality in your mind, and that's why that's taken into consideration. What's in your mind is what's being taken into consideration here. Because your Parnassa is the silent Rosh Hashana until Yom Kippur. Nothing will be lacking from this quota if somebody comes from out of town, and nothing will be added if it doesn't happen. Meaning, if he decides, you know what, I'm not coming, I'm not moving next door to you, you're not going to make more money because of that. And then he says, however, if the local artisan is allowed to stop the newcomer, it becomes his obligation to make that effort and the obligation of the other person to prevent damage to him. If you decide to stop that person from opening a store next to you, now it becomes your obligation to add this extra ishtadlut to your life to make your money. Why? Because now you're taking things into your hand. You're adding ishtadlut. You're not adding income to your pocket, but you're adding effort. That effort that you're adding to stopping him, to go to lawsuits, bedin, government, all that stuff, that's time that's taken away from other places, whether it be learning Torah, doing mitzvot, or even working, making money. He, on the other hand, has the obligation to prevent you from stopping him. And if it's not permitted to stop him, there is also no obligation to make this effort. And he cannot consider his fellow as someone who's causing him damage. But if, according to the Torah, you're not allowed to stop him. Why? He's not damaging your business. He's in a completely different business. Or perhaps he's coming to teach Torah, which is allowed. Then you're not allowed to stop him. And therefore, there's no reason to think that you're going to need to work extra hours to make the money because you think that half the customers are now going to him. You're not going to have to work any harder because you now have a local, another rabbi next door to you, and half of your kihila went to him. You're not going to have to work harder in order to get the same amount of donations for people. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu will worry about you just like he worries about him. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, but logically speaking, if half of my community went to him, surely I'm going to lose some donations, right? So I need to work harder in order to get those donations back, whether it's to get the people back or to convince the people that I have to donate more or to get new people. Surely I have to do something in order to make more money. Torah says, no, you have no obligation to make this extra effort because he's not causing you any damage. What do you mean? But he just took some of my students. He took some of your students, but as far as Parnassa, as far as money, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you the same exact one. Why? Because he is doing what Torah says. You are doing what Torah says. Neither one of you is going to lose. And you cannot view him as someone that's taken away money from you, because he's not. The supplier of food to all creatures, meaning Hashem, to all creatures of the world, will certainly provide for his needs, and seeking imaginary reasons based on one's own heart and eyes is futile. Where a person has to understand that when you see that someone is coming into town, whether it be another synagogue, another yeshiva, or even another business, you cannot think for a moment that that person, even if they are in a competing business, that that person is going to steal away money from you if Hashem did not decree it. And you looking and you see, oh, they have a new campaign, they just raised $1 million. Oh, that means that they're not going to send money to me. Why? Because they already donated $1 million to him. Wrong. Oh, look, he just has a sale and everybody came over there and bought everything in the store. They're not going to buy anything from me because, they already spent all their money on him. Wrong. All of these things are considered znut einayim. What's znut einayim? The promiscuity of the eyes. Why? Because a person is looking elsewhere, he's looking at the grass of his neighbor and says, oh, it's greener. Oh, look, he has a campaign, he raised $1 million. Oh, look, they have a sale, they sold everything. Oh, look, they have a new product and they have a unique contract, an exclusive contract on selling this house. They have an exclusive on selling this product. They're the best. They're this. I'm not going to be able to pay. I'm not going to be able to survive. I'm going to go out of business. All of that is promiscuity of the eyes. Why are you looking elsewhere? Why are you looking elsewhere? Do you think he's the one that decides your Parnassa? You think she is the one that decides how much money you're going to have to eat that month? Absolutely not. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the only one that decides. And just like he feeds the ants and the pigs and the horses and the people that hate him and the people that worship idols and the people that love him, surely he will feed you too. Surely he will feed you too. To think otherwise is a form of heresy. And therefore, he calls this znut ha'inayim, this promiscuity of the eyes, futile. Futile, because you're looking at somebody else's pockets. One of the worst traits that a person can have is counting other people's money. It's one of the most obnoxious things in the world. Baruch Hashem, I've merited to have many, many people my whole life always counting my money. When I was on Wall Street, after Wall Street, for whatever reason or another, my financial well-being has always been the interest of the public. People would literally, when I was on Wall Street, when I first started making a lot of money, within literally a matter of days, I got a phone call from somebody. Hey, listen, I heard you made a big trade the other day. I said, how did you hear? You don't work here. I haven't talked to you in 20 years. Oh, yeah, but I heard you did. Did you do it, really? I said, yeah, we did okay. How much? How much you do? I'm like, it doesn't make a difference how much. But how did you know? Oh, because one of your employees, he knows somebody is. Literally, I'm working, doing my thing in my office. One of the employees hears something, decides to spread it to the whole world. And every single time we would do anything big, somehow the word would get out and everybody would be worried about how much money that we're making. It was the most obnoxious thing in the world. People would come to my house, start pointing at, oh, how much did that cost you? Oh, how much is that? How much is this house? You rent here or you bought? Is that yours? That this? Or is that a custom suit? Or is that something? What do you care about these? What are you, my accountant? Are you doing taxes for me? What do you care? Is it coming out of your pocket? How much did you donate? Wow, you sure? Huh? That's the way people are. It's obnoxious. And if you're one of those people that ask people how much their stuff cost, it's a very obnoxious and it's sinful behavior. Very, very obnoxious and very sinful. Why? It's, first of all, it's ayin hara. First of all. Second of all, for sure it'll create jealousy. For sure it creates jealousy. You see somebody that has something that you want, something that's nice, something that's expensive. You ask, oh, how much did that car cost you? Or how much did that house? Do you rent? Did you buy? Did you this? Did you that? Those are all purposeless questions, if not for the purpose of jealousy and causing other people harm. Simple. If you really want to find out how much the car costs, go on the internet. There's something called the internet. It's a big scam, but everybody's using it. Go on the internet, type in the car that you want, press the enter, and you'll see the price. Simple. What do you need to ask him for? What do you want to size him up? How much money he's making? Oh, what kind of doctor are you? Why, you looking for a doctor? You look pretty healthy. No. I just want to know if you're a spinal surgeon, or if you're an eye surgeon, or if you're just a dentist, or if you are a dentist, maybe you're an oral surgeon. Why? I want to know how much money you make. Rabotai Karim, that's what people do all the time. They ask you where you work and how long you work and how much this and how much that. Oh, you have a 401k. Oh, you have an IRA. It's an obnoxious behavior. Horrible thing. Worse yet, it's become simply the conversation of the ignoramuses in the world to talk about other people's money. Even in the media, they do it on a regular basis. Anytime some athlete or celebrity signs a deal with some company or some team or some this, the whole world needs to know about it. And in fact, you only become an A-list person if you are spoken about by the whole world. It's no surprise that practically all of those people end up losing every penny that they have in the end. With all that ayin hara, how could they even survive the ayin hara? The Gemara says 999 out of 1,000 people die from ayin hara, from evil eye. And only 1 people die from old age. Only 1 out of 1,000 die from old age. All the evil eye people talk about other people's money. It's the most obnoxious thing in the world. And as we talked about last week, also talking about other things you have, like your wife or your husband. your kids, simply put, don't talk about your stuff and don't ask people about their stuff. You want to talk to somebody? Talk about things. What do you think about this? Did you read this? What do you think about this parasha? What do you think about this mitzvah? Things that are meaningful, things that could actually impact your life, because whether he bought or he rents the house doesn't make a difference. Whether the car costs $500 a month or $5,000 a month doesn't make a difference. Whether they're married for 5 years or 10 years for sure is not going to make a difference. And if their kid attends such and such school or a different school, surely will not help your retarded kid that doesn't want to go to school. The reality is, Rabotai, is that people talk about so many meaningless things and not realizing that they're causing damage to themselves. If not for the sake of jealousy and also the adultery that comes out of it and all of the damages, simply they're wasting their life. As the pasuk says, "V'nafshi yatz'a bedabro." HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that the soul of Am Yisrael left when he said the 10 commandments. When he said the first commandment, all of Am Yisrael died. Comes Rabbi Chaim Volozhin and says there's also another lesson we learned from this pasuk, that the soul comes out as a result of words. Whose words? Your own words. You waste your words, you're simply killing yourself early. Instead of dying at 120, chas v'shalom, you'll die earlier. Why? Why waste your speech? And the reality is, Rabotai, is that many people talk about money nonstop. It's either money or znut, immorality. That's what people talk about. It's just literally, there's nothing going on in here. There's like little mice from Sodom and Gomorrah in people's minds. Nothing else they talk about. Money or znut. We have to learn that we have to be different. And when a person simply understands that money, as far as how much he makes and how much his neighbor makes, is all decided by Hashem, he realizes what Shlomo HaMelech meant when he says, everything is evel avalim, everything is futile of futiles. Shlomo HaMelech was the richest man of the land. In the days of Shlomo HaMelech, people literally saw gold as useless because there was so much of it. He had a city that he gave as a gift. The whole city he gave as a gift. And this city was made of gold. The floor was gold. The buildings was gold. Everything was gold. He gave it as a gift because he needed the wood to build the Bet HaMikdash. That's how much money Shlomo HaMelech has. And he says all of this gold is futile of futiles. Why? If you think you're the one that's responsible for making the gold, you're the one that's responsible for spending the gold and not having or this having or that having, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. He can never take a penny from you and you can never take a penny from him unless Hashem decides it. Everything you think other than that is futile of futiles. It's simply, in our language, nonsense. Or, in Hebrew, shtuyot.